Hey, are you a millionaire? Or a better question is, do you want to be a millionaire? Do you want to achieve that pinnacle status of telling all your friends, your coworkers, your family that you made it, that you are a millionaire? Today, we're going to help you find that success, folks. Welcome, everyone. Show's called Your Money, Your Wealth. My name's Joe Anderson. I'm a certified financial planner, president here of Pure Financial Advisors. And of course, I'm with the big man. There's Alan Clopine. He's sitting right over there. If anyone can help us figure out how to be a millionaire status, it's Big Al. The reason why we call him Big Al is because he's got a big wallet. When you look at the world of finance, we always hear about that millionaire status. Do you need to be a millionaire? Do you need $5 million, or maybe it's only a couple $100,000? Our goal today is to help you find that financial freedom. That's today's real financial focus. Here's the good news, folks. I know we always talk the doom and gloom, but you know what? If I look at 2017, there was 36 million millionaires. 1 year later, that number jumped to 42. So guess what? People are watching this show. People are saving diligently. They are getting prepared for retirement. It's pretty exciting. Are you a millionaire? Let's figure it out. But today's show, we're going to do this. We're going to switch things up. And we got a millionaire showdown. It's called Make Me a Millionaire Showdown. This is a wonderful title. You guys remember the show, Make Me a Millionaire, or something like that? We're gonna do it today on Your Money, Your Wealth style. It's going to be awesome. But before we do any of that, let's bring in the big man, Big Al Clopine.
The making of a millionaire. It's actually not that complicated. You just need to save regularly for a whole lot of years, but we're going to show you how to fast track that. And of course, if you have savings, you got to know how to invest it. And then many of you watching might feel like you're little late bloomers. You're a little bit behind, so we'll address your situation as well. Joe, what could be more exciting than figuring out how to become a millionaire?
This is going to be really good.
I mean, this is even more interesting. This is even more exciting than taxes, becoming a millionaire, right?
Yeah, all you got to do, save for the next million years, and
that's
you'll be a millionaire.
You gotta do.
That's it. It's that simple.
Well, let's put some numbers.
All right, let's do it.
Let's put some numbers to this. So if you start with nothing, I guess, right?
Okay.
And you save $500 a month, how long is it going to take to you're a millionaire? It's about 36 years. Okay.
So you got to start out pretty young. So if you look at this and say, all right, well, here I have some, young children, or if they can start saving a couple of bucks, right? 36 years is a long time to save $500 a month, but $1 million is no joke, right? So we're looking at how do you achieve that, and what have people done to achieve success is that they're diligent. They save diligently, and they save a lot, and they're pretty dedicated to what they're trying to accomplish.
But it does go to show if you're 30 years old and saving $500 a month, you get there at around 66. If you're 40 and have 100,000, it's roughly the same thing.
Yeah, and if you can save a little bit more, let's say you're starting from scratch, you save $2,000, now it's going to take you 20 years. In that same example, if you have $100,000 to begin with and you can save that $2,000, well, now it's 16 years. So it depends. As we get a little bit older, our cash flow increases because hopefully we're making a little bit more money. So then if you can start putting goals together, $2,000 a month, it's $24,000 a year. Maybe you save, $18,000 into your 401k plan and they match you to get you to that $24,000. So putting numbers on paper and kind of figuring out exactly what you need to do to get to that $1 million status, it's just putting a plan together, Al.
It is, and I think one of the most important concepts right off the bat is what's called paying yourself first. And that's simply the concept that you actually automate your savings. You pay yourself first. Maybe it's 401k. Maybe it's an auto withdrawal right out of your account into savings. Because what a lot of people do is they say, I'm going to save what's left over at month end. And typically the bills come up and you find ways to spend money. It's very hard to save that way. But if it happens automatically right off the bat, Joe, it tends to be a lot more effective.
Right. And you can do that by saving into your 401k plan, 403b plans. It just comes directly right off the top. Most people, they do the opposite. They pay themselves last.
Yeah.
Hey, I got to pay the bills. I got to do this. And then, if there's something left over, then that's what I'm going to save. You got to reverse the psychology. And you're the most important person here, right? You got to stop thinking about your today's self and think a little bit more about what you're going to be tomorrow, right? In the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years.
Let's talk about fast tracking your savings, because when certain events happen and you end up with more money to work with, for example, maybe you get an annual raise, maybe you don't, maybe you do, but when you do get a raise, then you want to save at least some of that raise. Or maybe you get a bonus, maybe you're in a company that gives out bonuses. Make sure you try to save a big chunk of that. Or maybe you get an inheritance. These are ways, Joe, for people to fast track savings.
Yeah, and then I think also you have to look at, being a little bit creative here too, is that a lot of us that are watching this show right now just might have a job in getting that one single income. Most millionaires have multiple streams of income. So they might have the 9 to 5, but they're doing some side hustling on the side, right? They're doing, or maybe starting a small business or doing some other things to bring in extra cash flow and saving that extra cash flow.
It is, and we find a lot of people doing that. It's kind of like the gig economy. And with the gig economy, it's like, how creative can you be? I mean, there's some obvious things like Uber, right? But what about dog walking? Or, Joe, there's something called...
That's a lot of dogs, Alan.
There's a lot
that you gotta walk to get to them.
I know, but I think the human billboard,
yes, right.
You're tall. You'd be really good at that.
You could spin spin those little
Or
signs.
There's also something called rent a friend. You're pretty friendly. You could do that.
Yeah, that's what I do on the weekends.
That's right.
That's exactly what I do on the weekends. Hey, we got to take a short break. When we get back from the break, we're going to do a Millionaire Showdown. We got Jake Greenberg. He's a managing director of our Brea office up in Orange County, California. I'm going to take him down. I'm going to take him down. I'm going to bring him back to Brea, folks, because I don't know what we're going to do. Al's going to do something. We're going to answer some questions. We're going to have a lot of fun. And then we're going to win $1 million, I think, or calories. I don't know what it is. You're going to have to stick around to find out. Go to our special offer today, folks, because if you can learn from one of the most successful investors of all time, it's Warren Buffett. So if you want to think, act, and invest like Warren Buffett, we are going to give you a book for free this week. Go to yourmoneyorwealth.com, click on that special offer, and we will send you Think, Act, and Invest like Warren Buffett. The best part of the book is the foreword. Al and I wrote the foreword. It is very well written, and I think you'll enjoy it. Go to yourmoneyorwealth.com. We'll be back in just a second. You don't want to miss the $1 million, make me $1 million showdown. We'll be back in a minute. Hey, welcome back to the show, folks. Show's called Your Money or Wealth. Joe Anderson and Alan Clopine. We're trying to make you a millionaire today. Trying our best. Stick around. We're going to do Make Me a Millionaire Showdown, where Jake Greenberg, he's a certified financial planner, and myself are going to go head-to-head on the Battle of the Brains. So you don't want to miss that. Also, check out our special offer today. Think, Act, and Invest like Warren Buffett. You can go to yourmoneyorwealth.com, click on that, and get that book. We'll ship it out to you ASAP. Before we get to the showdown, let's see how you did on the true-false question.
If you earn 7% annually on an investment, it will double in approximately 10 years. And that's a true statement. 7%, there's this thing called a rule of 72. So you divide that 7 into 72, you get about 10. So it's about 10 years. So that's true, Jim.
Yeah, that's a good way to kind of gauge on how long that your money will double given whatever rate of return that you have. The rule of 72. Al.
Exactly. So, Joe, we talked about saving money and fast tracking it, but we got to talk about investing. And so there's certain types of investments, and I want to just go over these really quickly. We've got stocks, of course, bonds, that's the common ones. We got real estate, and we have natural resources. If you have a long period of time to invest, you're going to do a little bit better with stocks than bonds.
Yeah, you want to look at a globally diversified portfolio. So you want to have some stocks and some bonds, some real estate, some precious metals, some alternatives, and so on. But that mix is really going to depend on what target rate of return that you want to accomplish and what your overall goals are. And there's a lot of different ways that you can hold your investments too. If you want to hold individual securities, if you want to do a mutual fund, an ETF, or if you just want to hold that hard tangible asset. I mean, so it really depends here on what your preference is and ultimately what your goals are and what you feel comfortable with.
Right, and I've got a little chart here to show show that. So individual positions, you can invest in a stock individually. That would be a company or an individual bond. You might really want to consider mutual funds, ETFs, index type funds, because you get more diversification. One investment might have 50, 100, 1,000 different investments inside of it. You get more diversification. You can invest in all four of these that way. Or if you want to actually hold the hard asset, real estate, natural resources, you can do that. But if you have the longer period of time to invest, if you're trying to become a millionaire, you probably want to favor stocks more over bonds because you have a higher expected return. And you can, of course, make money in real estate. You can make money in all of these, but you do want to have a globally diversified plan to be able to do that.
Yeah, and more importantly, it's like, well, do you need $1 million, or it's something significantly less than that? You know, we like just to throw that term around, millionaire, because it's fun and everyone kind of knows it, but you don't necessarily need $1 million to have a very successful retirement. You have to control what you can control. You know, like you're investing. Is it for long term? Is it for the short term? If I'm just trying to be a millionaire, yeah, I'm going to have all stocks. But guess what? Next week, the market can completely blow up and you're not a millionaire anymore. You're broke. So you want to make sure that you control the things that you can.
And the second thing, Joe, is stocks versus bonds. Now, stocks over the long term have a higher expected return, bonds a lower expected return, but bonds are less volatile. It's why you want to have some of each in your portfolio, but the longer term horizon, you want to have more stocks because of the longer term. Now, stocks may in certain years go down relative to bonds, but you'll do better longer term with more of a stock favoring those. You also want to take a look at fees. And a lot of people don't realize that investments come with fees. Like when you have a mutual fund or index fund, that type of thing, there are internal charges. And you'd rather have a fund that's less costly than one that's not. And then finally, I want to get into one of my favorite things called taxes. And with taxes, Joe, it's not really what you make, it's what you keep. And I think we all know that. With the tax law changes, there's a lot of strategies. You want to put your higher expected return assets in your Roth IRA because there's no taxation, maybe capital gains. So with that, we are going to make somebody here a millionaire. We don't have $1 million, we have 1,000,000 calories. So this is going to be quite exciting.
I've been skunked every single time we've done something this wonderful.
Let's fire away. Number one, with an inflation rate of 3%, prices would double in about how many years? 10, 18, 24, 30. Jake.
30?
That is incorrect. Joe, you got a chance.
18.
That's incorrect too. It's 24. No points on that one. Number two.
Turned red.
According to the U.S. Census Bureau, what is the average number of years spent in retirement? 12, 18, 23, 28. Joe.
18.
That is correct.
Yes.
1 point for Joe. In 2019, for a single taxpayer, at what taxable income does the highest federal income tax rate of 37% begin? 510,300, 517,450, 600,000, 612,350. Joe.
$517,013.
That is incorrect. Jake.
B.
Both are wrong because you gave the same answer. It's 510,300. Number four, according to the Social Security Administration, you should apply for Social Security before you want your benefits to start. How many months before? 8, 6, 4, 2.
6.
Wait.
That's me. 6 months.
That is incorrect.
3.
That wasn't a choice, but good guess.
4 months.
That's just 4.
4 months.
So far, we're 1-0 after 4 questions. Okay, number 5. According to Fidelity Investments, roughly how much should you have saved by the time you retire? 3 times your income, 6 times your income, 8 times your income, 10 times your income. Oh, that was a tie. I'm going to let Jake go.
6 times?
That is incorrect.
That's a trick question. Because what age?
That you just have to go with it.
If you're at full retirement, or if you are, it's 10 times.
Of course, yes. We'll call it good.
Okay.
Okay.
Bad question.
Now this one will take some thinking.
Like they all don't.
Yeah. Which of the following strategies is not considered an advanced estate planning technique? Family limited partnership, qualified personal residence trust, Delaware statutory trust, grant or retained annuity trust.
They're all advanced estate planning techniques.
That is incorrect. Jake, what's your answer?
I'm going to go with the Delaware.
That is correct.
Oh, well, DST.
Yeah. Has nothing
There
to
we
do
go.
with advanced
One.
estate planning. That's,
All right.
that's buying, owning real estate.
That's very good, sir.
So number 7, how many individuals were receiving Social Security benefits in 2018? 33,000, 43,000, 53,000, 63,000. Jake,
63.
that is correct. Joey's got a big lead on you, 2-1.
I wasn't even listening.
You,
to
I,
that one.
I know you were. That's, yeah.
I'm still thinking about the Delaware Statutory Trust.
Number 8, which bankruptcy was a major catalyst in the creation of the Pension Benefit Guaranty Corporation? City of New York, American Airlines, Studebaker, Lionel Corporation. Joe.
Studebaker.
That's right, 2-2. Number 9, California has not conformed with most of the new Federal Tax and Jobs Act of 2017, but they did conform to eliminating miscellaneous itemized deductions, restricting deductible taxes to $10,000, eliminating Roth IRA recharacterizations, non-deductibility of alimony payments. Jake.
The Roth recharacterization.
That's correct. Joe, he's got 3, and you got like maybe one question to do. Okay, number 10. This will require some thinking.
Okay.
The word tax originates from the Latin taxo, meaning I estimate, the Greek taxo, meaning to take, the Old English taxus, meaning to feed the coffer, taxi, which takes you places for a fee. Joe.
To take.
To take, which that is incorrect.
The Greek word
The Greek
to take
word.
or something. Did you say something like that?
I did. I just
Okay.
had to find it. That's
Got it.
incorrect.
That is it. All right.
Jake.
What were the first 2?
The Latin
This is not how to be a millionaire. This is just,
This is, yeah. The Latin taxo, meaning I estimate. The Old English taxus, meaning to feed the coffer.
I'm going to go with B.
B, which, the second one, which is incorrect.
it's the B. You mean the second one. What? The second no, I mean, no, it's the fourth one.
Well, you've got A, B, C, D.
Al's got a totally different alphabet.
Okay, because it's a tie, we got a tiebreaker question.
Tiebreaker. All right.
What was the #1 song on Billboard charts in February 1st, 1964, a week before the Beatles appeared on The Ed Sullivan Show? She Loves You, I Want to Hold Your Hand, Love Me Do, Twist and Shout. Yes.
I want to hold your hand.
We have a winner. That is the correct answer.
How would you know that?
I know my Beatles. I know the Beatles.
So you get $1 million.
Congratulations,
Very good.
Jake. Very good job. Very well done. I mean, these questions were probably something out of, I don't know, Al's like encyclopedia of what is nightly reading.
For bragging rights and the winner of 1 million calories, Jake, congratulations.
Wow, congratulations to Jake Greenberg. That's probably like 7 minutes that you'll never get back if you just enjoyed that. We'll be back in just a second. Show's called Your Money, Your Wealth. Hey, welcome back to the show. Show's called Your Money or Wealth. Joe Anderson, Ellen Clopine, thanks so much for still hanging out with us. Go to our special offer today, yourmoneyyourwealth.com. It's Think, Act, and Invest like Warren Buffett. We're talking about trying to make you a millionaire. Who better to learn from the best? Warren Buffett. Go to yourmoneyyourwealth.com. We'll send you the book for free. Think, Act, and Invest like Warren Buffett. We're going to wrap the show up, but before we do that, let's see how you did once again on the true-false question.
For the past 30 years, the S&P 500 has achieved a positive return for 22 years. That actually is a true statement. This is ending in 2018. So it went up 22 years, it went down in 8 of those years. And Joe, I think it's important for folks to realize that the S&P 500 or the market in general, stocks in general, they don't always go up. And a lot of times when they go down, people get discouraged, right? And they abandon their investment strategy, which is not the right thing to do.
You're good at math. What is that percentage? 70% up, 30% down?
Yeah.
Does that seem about right?
Yeah, that's about right. But the point is, it doesn't go up every year.
Yeah, but I think the point is that 70% of the time it does.
It does. It goes up more than it goes down.
And so when people freak out when the market goes down, just know that over time, this is a 30-year time period. I mean, if you go out 50 years or 100 years, the numbers are very, very similar. About 70% of the time, the market is positive, while 30% of the time it's negative.
Right. And that's fairly typical. I want to talk about what happens for the late bloomers, for those that really, they're age 50 or 60, and they really haven't done much. So what can you do to become a millionaire? So that's what I kind of want to get into. And the first thing, it's no mystery. Save, right? You know it. You know you got to save. Start now, and part of the way that you're going to save is you're going to cut your expenses. And I know that's a painful one. But by cutting your expenses now, you've got more money to save. And guess what? If you don't slash your expenses right now, you're going to have to in retirement. So start now and gradually get those down to where your retirement's sustainable.
I mean, here's a drill. Here's something that I want you to do. If you're a late starter and you haven't have a lot of money saved, just look at your Social Security statement and say, okay, this is what I'm going to receive from Social Security. Let's say it's $24,000 and you have no other money saved. That's what you got to live off of. So if you're making $125,000 now and you don't have a lot saved and you want to retire at some point, you can cut your expenses, right, to save those additional dollars. Or like Al just said, you're going to be living off of something significantly less. So this is where you got to start planning and taking a look at things to see, all right, putting things through the asset test. What's really important to you? Is it today or is it your future self? In most cases, your future self gets neglected. That's what we're talking about. Don't let that happen. So it's planning. It's figuring out what you need to do. I know none of this is fun. I don't want to save. I don't want to cut expenses. I don't want to downsize, but we have to make tough choices.
Well, that's right. And working longer, of course, that's yet another thing. By working longer, you have more time to save, let those earnings accumulate, and you'll be taking Social Security later. So I want to give you some real numbers in terms of what this might look like. So let's say you've got 20 years more to work. Let's say you're 50 years old, you really haven't done any savings whatsoever. Can you save enough to get to $1 million? The answer is yes, and this is at a 7% return. 1,920, call it $2,000. You save $2,000 a month for the next 20 years at a 7% rate of return, then you'll get there. It gets harder though. When you're 15 years out, you got to save $3,000. 10 years out, you got to save almost $6,000. And if you're 5 years out, I didn't even put that on this slide. It's about $13,000, $14,000. Joe, part of this is starting as early as you can, but there is hope for those that start late.
Yeah, I think again, it's just going back down and looking at, all right, well, how much can I save, right? And then double that. Because a lot of us, we have to, especially as we get closer to that retirement date. You know, we don't think about it until usually it's too late, right? And so now is the time to get focused. Now is the time to say, all right, well, what do I need to do? How much can I save? And then see if you can save just a little bit more. Get that discipline, because that's where millionaires come from. They are disciplined savers. They write things down. They make things happen. And I know that you can too. And lastly, Al, let's talk just a smidge, if you will, about taxes. Where should be people saving?
Yeah, because you can't avoid taxes, because that can take a significant part of your future income. So when you think of taxes, we kind of think of three pools: a tax-free pool, a taxable pool, and tax-deferred. Tax-free might be a Roth IRA. Taxable would be non-retirement accounts, and tax-deferred is retirement accounts. All are taxed differently. The tax-free, no taxation whatsoever, that's the best. Taxable can be long-term capital gains, which is a lower tax rate. Deferred is ordinary income. So if you have all of your savings in your 401k or IRA, you might want to look at shifting perhaps some of that to a Roth IRA. You got to pay taxes on a conversion, but you get money into a Roth IRA where it's tax-free. You also want to be sensitive to how you invest your non-retirement assets to take advantage of capital gains.
Hey, what is the pure takeaway today, big guy? Well, there's a lot of things. We got to automate our savings. And then we talked about ways to improve your savings, right? You got to automate it, pay yourself first, and there's ways to improve that. And then when you do save, you got to invest it. And you want to make sure that you're investing successfully for your specific goals, dreams, aspirations. And then we looked at, all right, well, how do late baby boomers, how do you get caught up? What are some steps that you can do? Big Al just kind of showed us some very depressing numbers. All you got to do is give away your firstborn child, and you can be a millionaire. It's that simple. Go to yourmoneyyourwealth.com, folks. We got our special offer this week. It's Think, Act, and Invest Like Warren Buffett. It's a book. We'll send it to you with no charge, no obligate, nothing. We're just that friendly here at Your Money, Your Wealth. Go to yourmoneyyourwealth.com. Click on that special offer. We'll send you the book, Think, Act, and Invest Like Warren Buffett. Want to thank Jake Greenberg. He's a certified financial planner, managing director of our office up in Brea, in Orange County. He whooped me because Al cheated with these crazy questions that he came up with. If you missed anything, you can get us online at YouTube at Your Money, Your Wealth. For Big Al Clopine, I'm Joe Anderson. Have a wonderful weekend, everyone. We'll see you next week. Boom!
You were all right. You were right in there till the end. You basically tied. Ugh.